And I guess generally speaking, there's a lot of the idea of that being what comes after death or whatever is in the background of all films, I suppose. I hope there's a lot of feeling in them, and you feel sad about losing dogs that you loved or people that you loved, and it's sad. There's a lot of sadness in the world. The fact that things are constantly disappearing in front of you and you can't relive it. Every photograph is a mausoleum, and every film is a tomb, so to speak. But in animation, there's an irony there, of course, because animation, we're not dealing with that. We're dealing with bringing life to inanimate objects. I sort of like doing both animation and live action because you're constantly in that sort of area of creating either individual performances that actors can do in front of a camera, which are just fabulous. Because every film, as we know, every photograph can't be repeated. It's unique and it's already gone as it's recorded. And history and the images of history, and all I can ever think about is that before 1839 we didn't have any images of the past. They just didn't exist. And until, before 1895 we didn't have any moving images of the past. I'm often perplexed that people don't see that, and somehow they wonder about why you do animated documentaries, for instance, and you point out to them, well, only about 0.1% of our lives are actually documented. There is no documentation of most of our lives. So if you want to where are you going to get that documentary material from if you don't make it up? And of course that's why most documentaries are made up. The realism of many documentaries, many live action so-called documentaries is overrated. I think the realism of many documentaries is when you start really looking at it, it's usually an eyewitness's opinion or an expert's opinion backed up by archival footage, which really usually could be from anywhere, and is made sense of with a voiceover by the expert or by the narrator. So with animated documentaries, they often rely on a voice, like with the ones that I use, either it's my own voice and the voice of a woman who's lost her son. But that's all I guess leading to the idea of having the film as something which will make an impact on the audience. And it was really important to me that it should be her voice as a witness, not only to what she saw, but to what she felt. This is unusual in animation as a filmmaker to have an ethical or moral obligation to the person, to the film, or to an important participant in the film. Well, happy birthday to Animateka. I'm really glad that I could be here to celebrate and show my films and talk about them and meet all the great people here. It was fairly unexpected that I could be here, but I told Igor, and he said, "Well, come along." So here I am, and it's been it is really fantastic festival, and have a great many more returns to Animateka. Happy birthday.